What about you?
I'm making it. I was just on the phone with some family. That's why it took me so long.
I hear that.
Honestly, I'm sick and tired of this whole Will and Jada shit.
Man, who you
Mm,
telling?
Lord,
People still talking about that shit too.
I mean, I thought like whenever
it's
an,
over already.
whenever an award show has a controversy, that shit will last until maybe about Wednesday, and people will forget about it. Niggas still putting their 2 cents into this shit. It's like, okay, we get it. Damn.
Right? And then you see a whole bunch of memes and shit like that on social media and stuff. It's like, all right, yeah, y'all ain't got shit else to do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, what, like, y'all not at work or y'all doing this shit at work. Like, y'all coming up with different memes every goddamn minute. Like, every single time you go on there, like, everybody coming up with different memes and stuff. I was like, okay, we get it.
Right,
The the Oscars was Sunday, and what's today? Thursday, and we
right.
still talking about it.
It's Grammy week, and they still talking about that.
Like, Kanye West. They said he might have a chance of performing in the Grammys and shit, right?
Let him perform. He's nominated. Why not?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing right there. He's nominated for how many awards? I'm not a big fan
A
of the
lot.
music, but still.
If he wins for album of the year, what? They're not gonna let him go up on stage. Let him perform.
right.
Big booty bitches, that's that shit I don't like. Once OJ Simpson started talking about Will Smith, I was like, you know what? I'm done with
Right.
this. Get out of here.
Now we know it's official.
I'm like, OJ, this. I mean, I had to put my Nas voice.
Oh,
I
oh,
think they talking about me, dog. What?
OJ giving his murderous stamp of approval. I love it.
You said what?
He giving his stamp of approval.
Why? I'm just like, this nigga. We're not him.
Wow.
Yo,
This motherfucker.
it's crazy.
But what we're not gonna do is cancel Will. That's what we're not gonna do.
I ain't canceling him.
I ain't canceling Will for nothing.
Hell no.
Nah.
I say Chris Rock deserved that slap.
See?
You can't talk shit about a dude wife in front of her and expect not to get fucked up.
I mean, that's what I said.
But I think he should have handled it after the show,
Yeah.
not during the show. Because if he had handled it after the show, nobody would be talking about it right now.
Yeah, like I see.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think people are more shocked that it was Will Smith and it happened at the Oscars because this is some type of shit that would happen on BT.
And that's why people should be like, yo, he was really pissed. Because we never seen him like that before.
Exactly, because it was just like something was clearly off and shit like that.
Yes.
I don't
He's
understand.
never done that.
I don't understand.
I can speak from experience. I've met both Chris Rock, Will Smith, and Jada Pinkett, and they were definitely kind to me. They've never done nothing like that in public. So I'm like, when you see Will Smith get up on stage to hit Chris Rock, something was bothering him.
That's what I'm saying.
But regardless of the situation with their marriage, whatever they do in their marriage is their business. That ain't got no shit to do with me.
Right.
I don't understand how people can say, "Oh, Kanye needs help," but Will Smith don't and shit like that. That's what I don't get.
But it's Kanye. Kanye is accustomed to doing stuff like that.
Shit.
Will Smith ain't.
Yeah, John Wayne was worse. Yeah.
I wasn't around for John Wayne. I only heard stories. So I don't know about John Wayne.
He pretty much almost whooped a Native American girl's ass on stage in the Oscars.
John Wayne?
Yeah. He had to get held back.
What year was that?
73. The same year
Oh.
Marlon Brando didn't appear in the Oscars, so a Native American activist came because of he didn't like the fact that the Indians, the portrayal in movies, and John Wayne didn't like that shit, and he almost, because he's a white supremacist, he almost whooped her ass on stage, but he still kept his Oscar. That's the thing. So John Wayne can keep his Oscar, and then Will can keep his Oscar. That's what I'm saying. The award itself has nothing.
He earned that Oscar. He shouldn't be stripped of the Oscar. You want to suspend him for like 2 years or whatever? That's cool, but he earned that Oscar.
He did.
You know what I mean? Because if they strip him of the Oscar, who you giving it to? Andrew Garfield? Like, come on. You know, Andrew Garfield is okay, but he's not no Will Smith.
Don't give it to Javier Bardem for
Right,
being the Ricardos. Don't do that.
Oh,
right.
please.
don't do that. No, hell no.
If they take away his Oscar, then they'll give African Americans the gateway to just the Oscar.
That and you know what? You know what's so crazy about it? If they stripped him of the Oscar, that's when he would get the support. Those same people that was saying he was wrong for going up on stage and slapping Chris Rock, that's when they would support him.
Exactly.
And that's how America is. It's funny like that.
Yeah, one of the sites kind of pissed me off too. I'm not even gonna. One of the sites and Amy Schumer.
She pissed you off.
This was despicable. But Wanda defended Roseanne when Roseanne called that
Exactly.
black girl a monkey. Amy Schumer said the N-word plenty of times.
Uh-huh.
Racist slavery jokes plenty of times.
Yep.
But they call that despicable. Okay.
Right.
The hypocrisy is funny though. That's the thing.
Too much favoritism.
I feel like it's like the comedians versus the high class slavery. That's what they're trying to make it out to be. Because mind you, a lot of the comedians.
Will was gangster. He slapped a person at the Oscars, went back in his seat and got himself an award after. He stayed for that award. He said, "I ain't leaving. I'm getting my award tonight."
And now they talking about they saying that they claim that they wanted him to like leave.
Yeah, but they ain't force him out, even if they asked him.
Right.
It's not like they had cops over to get him and shit. They ain't do all that.
And it's like my thing is like, then why'd y'all let him accept the award if y'all
Exactly.
saying that y'all saying that y'all asked him to leave? That don't make sense to me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's not
They can ask him, like you can ask me for a glass of water. It don't mean I'm gonna give it to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just because they asked him don't mean nothing.
And now they said that Will and Jada are going to address this on Jada's fucking
God,
red
I
table.
don't even.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
heard
even watching
about
that.
that.
I don't want to see that.
I'm just like, they should invite Chris Rock, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I agree.
she gonna get her ratings because that's what she wanted. She wanted the views.
I'm like, this is not good.
You know.
Honestly, I got a lot of shit to do this fucking night, and it's not even funny. Because last minute shit got on my fucking nerves today. Q said, I agree with Jim Carrey. Yeah, Jim Carrey made a good point, but now everybody wants to treat it like a race thing now, and it's just like, oh, here we go.
Jim Carrey ain't have a kid in how long? Yo? What are you talking about?
You said what?
Stay out of it. That ain't his business. Why he come commenting on shit like that? When the last time he had a hit movie?
Sonic? Wasn't Sonic a hit?
Somewhat.
I like Jim Carrey.
People commenting about shit and it's not even their business. Like, mind your business. You know,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar says some shit.
Kareem. Wow.
Because he didn't like the fact how Jaden Smith said that's how family do on Twitter.
Why is it his business? Like, mind your old ass business, man. Stay in the NBA. Your Lakers is losing like crazy. You worried about Will Smith?
Zoe Kravitz is fucking getting dragged on now because they said that she was messing with Jaden when he was 14 or some shit.
Oh boy.
I'm just like, oh Lord.
So we put it in the same cell with R. Kelly now?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. So what's up? What's up?
Yeah. People got to realize everybody is human. These celebrities are human. They make mistakes. They're not perfect. You know?
Y'all funny. Mind you, all the rappers are going to use the album and shit. And Lil Wayne already made a song where he referenced Will Smith.
What do you say?
He said, slap him up like Will Smith, some shit like that. I don't know.
Wow. Giving them props already.
Slap him up like it's better than beat that pussy up like Emmett
Jay-Z
Till.
gave him the ultimate compliment on the Blackout song. A ghetto nigga making Will Smith numbers. That's the ultimate compliment.
Yes.
That's all I needed to hear. I'm like, yep.
Well,
you got the props from Jay. It's official.
Y'all ain't gonna do Will like y'all did Cosby. Let's stop that right there. Let's not go that far. If Harvey Weinstein and Roman Polanski keep the Oscars, let Will keep his Oscars.
Right. That part I agree. I agree with that.
They took down R. Kelly. They took down Russell Simmons, Cosby. Now they were trying to take down Will Smith.
R. Kelly kind of took down himself. I'm just gonna be.
Yeah, but again, Roman Polanski was doing the same thing. He got his Oscar.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on Woody Allen.
Right, Woody Allen. Yeah, for years he been doing that. Jerry Seinfeld for years. he was dating that young Jewish chick.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything back in the 90s about that.
Nope. And I like Seinfeld, but still, that's crazy. That Jewish power and shit, man.
Yeah. So Shauna, whatever her name is.
This is it. This is it. Who the fuck is texting me? I'm sorry. Oh, Elvis Presley. Don't even get me started.
Right? They're doing a biopic on Elvis with Tom
Bam.
Hanks.
Are they going to mention the teenage girls he slept with, though?
I ain't watching that shit. I don't like Elvis, so I'll be careless. I will not be watching that.
It don't even look that amusing.
I'm gonna go on about 4 more minutes and shit. I'm really gonna stay on to maybe about 12:30 because we gotta do this 4th album.
This shit should be only 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to spend too much time on this. I just wanna. This motherfucker.
Wiz Khalifa still doing shit on rolling papers? Pathetic. He has nothing else better to talk about but that one album.
I mean, give me 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah. Mike, I didn't know you was joining us for this review.
I didn't either until he messaged me. He messaged me like earlier today. I'm like, shit.
Boy, it's amazing the shit that you watched when you was like 4 years old, and then when you watch it now, it's not the same.
Right, man. Who you telling?
Mind you, I really started watching this show like 5-6 years ago and shit like that because it was like a normal Leo show I never actually watched.
Right.
I have a lot to say. I'm just gonna be real. Ann Romano is the fucking devil. I'm just gonna be fucking devil.
She's not that attractive either. I don't.
Oh my
no.
Fuck her, like,
we'll talk about all this. We'll talk about it,
bro.
Yo, Ronnie, I want to tell you right now. My favorite character is Barbara. I want to tell you that right now.
My favorite is Barbara. Yes, because she carried that show.
Barbara and Schneider.
Yeah.
Even though Schneider kind of got JJ annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
But Max is also another favorite. Julie's husband.
You like Max?
Max was that dude. I'm not gonna front. He put Julie in her place sometimes. I'm just like,
that's why she left him.
That's
exactly why she wasn't in.
Wow.
Bro, it's true. And remember, he had feelings for Barbara after a while. He was lonely.
Yo, we gonna talk about
it now.
Like, I'm going after the cute sister.
Oh Lord.
Which TV theme song is underrated? I like Barnaby Jones' theme song. That theme song was good. There's a lot of them,
Underrated theme song, hands down, Rock season 1.
Rock, of course you would say Rock.
Yeah.
That's the Billie Holiday cover. It just fits the tone more than the En Vogue version. I like En Vogue, but that felt more like Fresh Prince or even that Patti LaBelle show Out All Night when she had Vivica A. Fox, Dwayne Martin. It had that vibe, like yeah. Who do you think is the most underrated TV character ever?
Oh wow, Mark, salute, yo.
Honestly, what's up, Mark? Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with Howard Rollins' character from In the Heat of the Night. I always felt like he held it. He definitely did that role justice for the Sidney Poitier and stuff like that.
I can see that.
Yeah. Mark knows about Out All Night. Yeah, that was that show.
We need to have him up for this show because once live stream, you gotta have Mark on here.
Oh, most definitely, man. most definitely. Marcus always invited and shit. Yeah. Ronnie said Zario from Parent. Zario got on my fucking nerves after. Zario kind of got on my nerves and shit. I'm just like, ugh. I never thought Reagan was a great actress as a teenager like that. I kind of felt like she kind of overacted sometimes. She was good to look at on some occasions when she got of age. Excuse me.
Right.
When she got of age. But yeah.
The Wire definitely.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I never watched Oz. I never cared for Oz like that.
Oz I watched once in a blue.
Right.
You doing an Outsiders review, Mike?
Yeah, I'm doing an Outside. I'm thinking next Sunday.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Next Sunday.
The movie? You doing the movie or the book?
I'm doing a movie.
Movie? Okay. Because I read the book first and then I watched the movie.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that'll be like next Sunday.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'm ready to start with New York. I'm not going to spend too much time on this show, but forgot. What's good, YouTube? How's everyone doing this lovely Thursday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me, the instigator.
What up?
Got my other homeboy Mike, movie reviews. What's happening, boss?
What's good?
Now, before I make it, I have an announcement to make. So, I'm currently gonna move to a new spot. Yeah, out of nowhere and stuff like that. So I'm trying to have everything set up by Sunday, and I told my dad that I need a Wi-Fi connected, so I can be able to do this whole rap albums thingamajig and stuff like that. Cause plus to watch the Grammys too, you know what I'm saying? Cause yeah, I know people want to ask me, what you think about the Grammys, yada yada yada, and all that bullshit. But yeah, so just bear with me. Hopefully, I'll go live on Sunday. Cause one thing I hate about moving is the turnovers and all that bullshit. So that's why I told Dad, yeah, we got to get this Wi-Fi fixed. I got a meeting to do Sunday. So just throwing that shit out there. All right. Today we are going to talk about one of Norman Lear's shows, One Day at a Time. This ran from 1975 to 1984. You know what I'm saying? This was pretty much his sixth successful show because he had a few shows that was kind of misses around that time, which we'll talk about that later and stuff. So, this came like right after the Jeffersons, because the Jeffersons premiered early 75. It starred Bonnie Franklin, rest in peace to her. I'm just gonna say like the main cast member because it was like hella cast members and shit. The main cast: Bonnie Franklin, Mackenzie Phillips, what's her name? Mackenzie Phillips, Valerie Bertinelli, and Pat Harrington Jr. So, how did y'all get into this show right here? Just asking. I'm gonna start with Try.
I got into the show like I was about 5 years old when it like the last two seasons, like 82, 83.
Yeah.
But I was like season 8, season 9. So I got into those at that time, like when the show was like already getting to go off the air.
Oh Jesus.
And just watching and like a single parent with two daughters and living in Indianapolis and divorcing her husband and trying to start a new life for herself. And it was hard for her. Like she tried to like teach her daughters, give her daughters values and try to raise them the right way. And she had a lot of hardship, and then she still was trying to like have a go out there and date and meet other guys at the same time. And but she had help. Her mother, who eventually came on the show like in seasons later, helped her along the way. And you had the landlord Schneider that was like a father figure in a sense to them. And her lawyer friend David, he loved her and he wanted to be with her, but she only looked at David as a friend. Similar to how the younger daughter Barbara, she looked at Bob as like he was just like a friend. He wasn't nobody that she wanted to be with. But I thought it was like a good family show. And I don't remember. I had to like really watch like at least 10 episodes like last night, because like when you watching shit when you're like 5 years old, it's different when
Right.
you a kid, and then when you watch it as a grown ass man, it's like, yo, like some you not
Some
you
of the
didn't
shit didn't age well.
huh?
Some of that shit didn't age well and shit.
Yeah, no, it's not an age. It's like you don't know what you're looking at 5 years old, and then like when you watching it now, it make a whole lot of sense. But it was like, yeah, so some of the acting was bad,
Oh God.
and like a lot of the episodes, it was like the same type of storylines for a lot of the episodes, especially like for Barbara, when she's like going from relationship to relationship, and she's dating different people, and they put in like in these weird situations that she had no business being a part of, and with Anne, the same thing with Anne, she was like going from man to man, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying, and then like the whole thing with Julie leaving the show,
Oh,
Mackenzie leaving the show, and it was like basically all on Valerie Bertinelli and the mom, you know what I'm saying, to like really and Schneider to really hold that show down, because without them, that show would have been off by season 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? So they the fact that it lasted 9 seasons is not even now, like in this day and age, it's not too many shows that last 9 seasons.
I'm
You know
even
what I'm
surprised
saying?
the
So
Goldbergs are still on the air and shit too.
huh?
I'm surprised that show the Goldbergs is still on the air.
I saw like the first season, maybe like a couple shows from like that first season, that was it. But it like if you last like 5, 6 seasons, you pretty much good,
Yeah.
because we don't see too many shows no more that last like 9 seasons. But the fact that it lasted that long with all the turmoil going on with that in that show, like it speaks a lot, to the success of that show. And that's a show that a lot of people don't mention for some reason when it comes to sitcoms of like the 70s and early 80s. They don't mention that show,
We'll talk about that.
you
'Cause I
know.
think I have a theory why.
Right. So that was like my introduction, just coming in on like the last 2 seasons of that show, and had to go back and watch like, the early 70s seasons, the season 1, season 2, and all that.
Okay. All right. Dope story. What about you, Mike?
How I got introduced to the show was I watched an episode. I believe it was the very first episode, and I came into the middle of it. It was Bonnie Franklin and Mackenzie Phillips. They were arguing. I forgot what they were arguing about. Like I knew Mackenzie Phillips from American Graffiti, so like it got me to watch that like because of her, because I was a fan of her in American Graffiti. So I was like, you know what, let me check this out. I like the concept. Single mother raising 2 kids, and then at that time she had a on and off again boyfriend, David, which that's one of my favorite characters. I think he's kind of underrated in my opinion. Um, I like Pat Harrington. I thought he held it down. I think him, Valerie Bertinelli, and Mackenzie Phillips. I think all three of them are like my favorite ones. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I feel like once it got to like the 80s, I feel like after Mackenzie left, like it was some good stuff on there, but I feel like it just jumped sharp. Like it was some good stuff, but it wasn't as magical as like the first few seasons.
I
Like
agree.
in
Yeah.
my honest opinion. Like I like how they like tackle like certain issues and stuff like that. And that's what most of these shows that's on now, that's what they're missing today. But
Right.
you know, um but yeah, that's how I got pretty much introduced to it.
Interesting. Okay. Honestly, I've heard about the show maybe as far back as maybe the late 2000s because I think Family Guy made a reference to this and shit like that. And pretty much it was just this woman saying, damn, 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 and stuff like that. And so I finally had a chance to watch it years ago for the first time because, like, you know me, I'm like, I like a lot of classic sitcoms, especially like that Norman Lear era and stuff like that when it's done right. And so I watched it, and it was just like you can definitely see like all of the Norman Lear like tendencies in a way and stuff like that. But I've always been critical of it with just how they handle the plot too. And just I've always it's like I know more of Mackenzie Phillips' background problems than the show itself, if that makes sense. And because back in that time, the whole drug culture, a lot of those teen child stores were like experimenting with drugs. The whole Different Strokes cast. That's the poster child and shit like that. But yeah, man, that's it. And it's just like people. It was just like it just became like a stuff of legend. You know what I'm saying? Like one minute she's here, next minute she's there. One minute she's there, next minute she's not there. Then they have to rearrange the scripts certain times. It just lost all consistency. So we'll talk about that. And usually when I think of this show, it's like I split into like 3 stages. The first 2 seasons are on the stage by itself. Third through fifth season are on the stage by itself, which I feel like that's where the show hit its mark. And then season 6 to the last season 9 was just that's a different stage and shit. So the show pretty much was created by Whitney Blake, Alan Manning. They were a husband and wife duo and stuff like that. And pretty much this was supposed to be based on Whitney Blake's life as a single mother. And originally, Meredith Baxter, who played the mom from Family Ties, was supposed to have been playing the role of Anne Romano and shit like that.
She would have been better.
She would have been definitely better. Definitely. And I hate to say it, but I'm just gonna say it right now. The reason why I kind of dislike this show was mostly because of Anne Romano. I'm gonna put it out there and shit. When it comes to like these Norman Lear shows, All in the Family, Archie Bunker, Maud Finley, Good Times, Florida and James, Jeffersons, Georgia and Louise, hell, Sanford and Son, Fred Sanford, protagonists who are very flawed and are very commanding. Anne Romano, she kind of has like a very sanctimonious feel to her, and it's like her way is the right way, either my way or the highway when it comes to her. And it's like when you find out why she actually divorced from the nigga and stuff like that, it's just to find her independence or whatnot. And I'm just looking at myself like, wait, what? So it's just like he was just a good man for her, right? A good man for her, supported the kids, but she just felt unhappy in herself, and that's when she just broke up with him, which is I don't know. I kind of that's another thing I kind of got mixed about when it came to this show. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like I'm all for finding independent. I'm all for all of that shit. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like the nigga didn't do anything wrong. But
I think she wanted her freedom though.
Yeah,
I'm saying like there's many episodes that I could choose from. Like how many episodes did she do where she was like dating a different guy and she went out for like a fling with him?
Yeah,
and you got 2 teenage daughters that you trying to like be a role model to and bring them up with values and you go in even like there's an episode in season 2 where she went out with a like there was a guy that was working for like the airlines and he gives her the rendezvous episode
yeah, rendezvous,
and he gives her like a plane ticket to fly out to where he's at. I think it was Chicago.
Yep.
And she's like contemplating, I don't know if I should go because if I go, I'm gonna look like a hoe. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't say that in the episode, of course, but she was contemplating because like when she sat down with Snyder and had that conversation, and she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I leave. The girls might think something. I really want to go out to the weekend and chill with them, but Snyder's telling her, you're not just going out with him for the weekend and y'all just gonna have fun. You know why you're going out there. Like he's a guy. You know what I'm saying? He's single, you're single. You know what's gonna happen. Like nobody is stupid. We're not stupid. You know what I'm saying? So there was many episodes like that where she wanted to go out and have her fun. So I felt like maybe she felt like she was stifled, and a lot of women might feel like that, like they stifled in a relationship or their marriage, and they might want to break free from that and have their freedom, and then they start acting out of character. And I feel like she was like that. Like she wanted her freedom, but she would be the same type of mom to tell to stress oh Barbara, you should wait till you get married to have sex, and you know what I'm saying. So but you didn't tell Julie that though. Julie went off and got married and all that.
Man, let me tell
You know
you,
what I mean?
we gonna get into whole Julie because I feel like both Annie and Julie were the most problematic characters on the
Yeah.
I
show.
agree with that.
And I say this, I'm gonna get into that, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the history because Norman Lear he brought the show out in 1974, but by that time Meredith Baxter was a bit too old to play the part and shit like that. I think she was like in the mid to late 30s, and she started in Family Ties and a bit older. A lot of people don't realize that, but yeah. So next thing you know they had the original part. That's when Bonnie Franklin came, and she was like a Broadway actress and shit like that too. And then the original pilot, she had one daughter, but they needed like a second daughter just to balance it all out, you know. And this is kind of where the problem came out because both Bonnie Franklin and Mackenzie Phillips were kind of beefing and shit like that because they were arguing over top billing. And the fact of the matter is just like because Mackenzie Phillips, she was on American Graffiti, like Mike mentioned, and shit like that. And she was doing a few commercials, and she was a daughter of the singer from that rock group, the Mamas and the Papas, which y'all know psychedelic pop rock group and shit like that, who committed incest. But we're going to talk about that another day.
Isn't she related to Wilson Phillips? Like one of the girls in Wilson Phillips, she's like a relative of hers.
I want to say yeah,
Okay.
I want to say yeah, because she has like a lot of musical backgrounds and shit.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah, so they were kind of beefing, and there was like a lot of jealousy with that too. And also, it was the fact that when it came to like the first season, Bonnie Franklin and Harrington did not like any of the script. They thought the show they wanted to be in another All in the Family, pretty much.
There's no Archie on that show though.
There's not even a Michael Warrior in that show.
Nah.
Because compared, like I said, the characters were very one note when it came to the whole Norman Lear universe and shit like that, you know. And it's like Bonnie Franklin and Mackenzie Phillips acting, especially in those first 2 seasons, is overacting like a motherfucker. Especially Bonnie Franklin. It's like anytime she gets mad, it's like she raises her voice, but then it's like she's like, I talk. It's like when she raises her, she likes to move her hands around and whatnot, and just look all crazy. Sometimes just look all fucking crazy and shit like that. Then Mackenzie Phillips, honestly, it's like I mostly preferred her in the dramatic episodes than the episodes where they were really trying so hard to be funny. Because I felt like that comedy bone didn't really settle in until maybe the 3rd season for them. But it was just like her yelling. It was just one of those shows like they just yell just to yell. Like they just yelled out their lines like, Ma, what are you doing? Right. It's like, thank you, Ma. Like, I was like, God damn. It's like, what the fuck? And it's like, God damn, hold up, girls. Like, and sometimes I just be waiting sometimes. That's why I love the episode when Ann slapped Julie, but we'll talk about that and shit. But yeah, man. But then you had like Valerie Bertinelli and Pat Sherrington like holding it down. Cause like Valerie Bertinelli was just at that time she was like the good girl. Right. Even still to this day, like the good girl, like
she was gorgeous. Like you see the evolution of her, like from the season 1 where she had like the long hair and she covered her face. Yeah. And then like by season 2, season 3, she she had the short cut. She started wearing makeup and everything. I'm like, yo, she carried the show. And I felt like Julie Mackenzie was very bland. She was very boring. I don't see what was the whole hype about her. I'm like, she was okay as a big sister, but if they replaced her with somebody else, you know what I mean? Like if we look at shows that had older sisters, like Justine Bateman, she was better for me. She was better. You know, if you look at Laura on the Family Matters, she was better. You know what I'm saying? Those type of shows is like there was many other shows where they had like older sisters that were better than Mackenzie Phillips' character.
I think the thing with the Mackenzie Phillips character was that, like I said before, when it came to like the dramatics, the drama episodes, she shined in a certain episode. But when it came to like the comedy episodes, especially around that time, it was kind of hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of those lines were kind of like "Welcome Back, Carter" lines. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll just say catchphrases just to say catchphrases and shit. But back to David, David left the show after the first season because after a little bit in the second season because he felt like his character was a waste. Always trying to get with Anne, but Anne was always turning him down and shit like that.
Right. Well, what about Bob? Bob kept getting rejected by Barbara, and he stayed on there for like the whole show.
Yeah, but see, Bob, he was more like a friend / crush in a weird way, like
a annoying Urkel.
Yeah, well, more like an annoying Skippy.
Yeah, right.
Because Urkel, I don't think anybody was on Urkel's level, but let's just, yeah, he was like, because like he was like coming in, because he was friends with Barbara and shit like that. But then once he started dating that Chuck nigga, that's when he felt like he had feelings for her and shit. But I like the episode when he came back and he had that girlfriend, and then Barbara got jealous. I'm just like, I love that episode. And guess who was the one actor that actually told Bonnie Franklin that she should stand up for the scripts and shit?
Who told her?
Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, Archie. Wow, the Archie reference.
Yeah, and mind you, Carol O'Connor, Norman Lear, they went back and forth in All in the Family too, especially when it came to like a lot of the racial things. Like he felt like Archie should be a soft, especially towards like the mid to later season, which when I try to talk about All in the Family on this channel, but nobody was watching and shit like that, if y'all remember. But anyway, just letting y'all know.
When was that?
It was like years,
2017.
I was like, damn, y'all just like black shows here. So that's why I was kind of risky doing this one, because this was planned as far back as maybe 2019.
Right.
On some real shit. I'm just like, part of me did not want to do it because I wasn't a big fan of this show. Part of me was just like, I mean, I don't know if the fans would love it, but I'm just like being experimental. We talked about Rock, Different World, Fresh Prince, Sanford and Son, Batman the animated series and shit. So maybe one white show won't hurt, White show won't hurt. And it will just get people ready for New York Undercover next month. So so then next season they added this lady, Barry Wilson Louise. She was like Jeannie. I think her character's named Jeannie or whatever. And of course, she didn't like the show too. Bonnie Franklin kind of allegedly wanted her out the show because she felt upstaged by her and stuff like that. And again, I had a problem with that character because originally she was supposed to have been a rival with Anne, but after the first episode, they made up and she was more like a best friend. And I'm just kind of like, so again, the whole sanctimonious, her friend does no wrong. Yeah, I got tired of that shit after a while and stuff. So yeah, she left the show because she thought it was too silly as well too. And then once the show went to the third to fifth season, that's when they really started like adding a lot more of the popular Norman Lear tendencies, like the topical issues. Some writers from All in the Family came to the show, so you definitely fleshed out the characters a bit more. Little trivia: the episode of All in the Family where Edith got raped was originally for one day at a time, and Anne was getting raped. Yeah, that's something interesting. But honestly, I don't even think she would be able to handle that. Well, you never know. But hey, and so they had added a few new characters like Francine, who's supposed to be Anne's business rival / eventually friend. Yeah, Max, Julie's husband, one of the best characters on the fucking show. Should have been treated with better respect, but Mackenzie Phillips' drug problems caused him to be in and out. And then you had, of course, the dad, which I forgot to mention. The dad, played by the late great Ed Capellana, whatever his last name is, I keep forgetting. Nanette Frauberry, she was the mom, of course. So yeah, but then Mackenzie Phillips' drug issues started taking a toll by like the fifth season because she entered rehab in 1980 and she got written out. She got slowly written out, and then that's when we enter like the next stage, the 6th and 9th season, where they brought in that annoying ass Nick and Alex. Oh,
they wasn't needed on that show.
I did not like Alex.
He was like the little boy version of Penny on Good Times. Did not like him. Because remember they killed off his father, and he ended up living
right, like because they got rid of Nick. I don't know why they got rid of him, but he wasn't really that much popular anyway. but they kept Alex because they needed that void after Julie left.
Right.
Well, whatever and shit like that. And it was just, again, it was kind of weird. Like, you just dated this nigga for like 3 months, and you watching his child. That would not fly in real life. that would not fly in real life and shit. He would at least stay with like a relative, an aunt.
Or he would have been in the foster home.
Right.
You know.
And then that same time too, they had Barbara's boyfriend. What's his name? His name is Sam, played by Boyd Gaines. You know, honestly, he wasn't as good as a character as Max, but at the same time, he didn't really do that much harm. I know a lot of people say his character was kind of boring.
As Mark, you mean? Mark was the husband.
Oh, that was Mark.
Max was for Julie.
Yeah,
Max was Julie's. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got you. Mark, Max. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got you. And then also around this time too, Pat Harrington, he got into some contract issues and he left the show a little bit in the 6th season because of money issue, but he didn't come back to like later on and shit like that.
Right.
And the episodes where he wasn't there were kind of like the worst episodes.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion. Like, Jesus. And it's like the comedy wasn't there because Chad, Bonnie, Franklin, and Alex.
Well, I think they brought the grandmother in for comic relief.
Yeah.
She was funny too.
The grandmother was funny.
Yeah.
I liked her. And a little trivia, Francine, the girl actually played Francine. That's actually her niece in real life and shit. Too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So then they brought Julie back in the 7th season, and this is where you saw the marriage issues between Max and Julie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Anne was afraid of when Julie married early, and it's kind of weird seeing that angle like that too. You know what I'm saying? Which brings me to the elephant in the room. I felt like it was kind of out of character for Julie to walk out on Max and her daughter.
Right. Well, I was like,
especially the
that can't happen. It's usually the guy that leaves. I'm like, the mother's leaving, her daughter and the husband.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I felt like they just did that shit just to stick it to a character because it's just like, oh well, she's a drug addict and shit like that. So yeah, fuck it. Then also around that time too, you know, Barbara and Mark got married, and then they decided to give Anne a husband, which
wow.
I didn't like none of the husbands for the daughter. I didn't like Max. I didn't like Mark.
Oh, Max was a G. I'm sorry.
You like Max?
Max was a G. I'm sorry.
Man. I think maybe Max would have been better for Barbara instead, but Mark, I didn't like. I'm like, you spent your whole time like trying to be a virgin, and you're gonna like give yourself to these dudes. Like these dudes were cornballs. I was like, Mark, like the dude is a cornball. Why is Barbara giving up herself? You could have given yourself to Bob. I would have been happy with that.
Oh, well, Mark used to do them fucking teeth jokes. I'm just like, oh my god, somebody, get him off.
I'm like, it seemed like, you know, we watched them grow up, and it was like all their dreams and aspirations went to the wayside once they met these dudes.
That's what I'm saying, because
I'm like, Barbara, you are not working for a travel agency. That is not your life.
When Barbara dropped out of college, again, I felt like that was out of character for Barbara too.
Right, she fucked up, and then she was working at that sporting goods store. I'm like, oh god, they got Barbara living like a poor chick. She was like,
man, I'm just like, she should. I bet you she should have said, "Damn, I should have got with fucking Bob." And shit.
Right.
Because Bob had that.
This is not supposed to be their life right now, yo. Like the writing was bad.
Oh my god! And then what? This is the funny part. They brought my nigga Johnny Fever, aka the late great Howard Hessman, as Anne's husband, and I'm just looking at myself like, okay,
no, that
the point of this fucking show was the life of a divorced woman. Why the fuck is she gonna get married?
Exactly.
How the fuck did that happen?
She trying to have her fun. So why they trying to like shack up with different dudes?
Especially with Dr. Johnny Fever. Because you know at that time WKRP ended and he was still on contract with CBS and stuff like that. So yeah, and motherfucker needed a job and shit. And you can tell he looked bored as fuck. I'm not even gonna hold you. He looked bored.
He didn't fit on that show.
He didn't. He was a bit too angry. I'm just like, god damn. Heck, bro. But yeah, then the show, you know, it got canceled in like 84 due to low ratings and shit. And of course, it got rebooted with the Latinos But that is like the more popular version now. That's the more popular version, because when people say One Day at a Time, it's like, oh, that's the show with Latinos.
Right.
And all that. Like, no, that was the reboot. That's the fucking reboot. This is the original version and shit. It's like now I can kind of see why it gets forgotten, because it's not. I'm not gonna call it a sitcom classic like All in the Family or Sanford and Son, but it's a good feel-good time relief, especially if you know what you're expecting. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, now I'm going to talk about the favorite episodes. I just give y'all a little quick history. The show had a lot of 4-part episodes, a lot of multi-part.
Yeah, it did.
I think the most out of any Norman Lear show, and I want to talk about my personal favorite episode, The Older Man, when Julie started dating that older nigga, and it brought out, in my personal opinion, my favorite scene when Ann slapped the dog shit out of Julie. Yo, okay.
I couldn't wait to do that.
The first scene I watched from the show, dead ass, the first scene I watched, and I remember the monologues like, "What you want? You want to take me on?" She's like, "Come on, you want somebody your old age?" And Julie was like, "Yeah, Jet, you're lonely, ma. You want him?" And then, boom, and then even the studio, I was just scared as fuck. And I saw an interview, Mackenzie Phillips said that she actually slapped her for real.
Yeah. She looked like she meant to do that.
Because you know when them old sitcom slaps, you can tell it's fake when it just eased up a little bit and stuff like that. But no, it was like a pow. And mind you, she slapped Alex too in that one episode called Wicked Ann, when Alex got mad at her dad and her shacking up, and he broke that fucking flower pot talking about, "I hate you. If you're such a good mama, how come your daughters ran out on you?" And I'm just like, he did kind of speak some facts though. I mean, and he broke that pot, and then she was like slapped. Now in real life, she would have gotten arrested for that. In real life, but he deserved it too.
You hit a foster kid.
She was a fucking shit. I'm like, yeah, that gives foster parents a good message.
Right.
Yeah. That definitely gives foster kids a good message. But yeah, I felt like the ending to The Older Man was kind of sad though, because she felt like, yeah, she was just a kid, especially when her dad and the older nigga had more in common. But honestly, I felt like she did overreact, because it's just like, well, what do you kind of expect though? You like 18, he's like 58, 6'7". Even the chemistry was kind of bad. I'm just like, God damn. But yeah, y'all have any favorite episodes y'all want to mention?
One of my favorites was on episode season 7, episode 12, the Stick 'em Up episode, when you know, this is when Barbara got the job by accident at the sporting goods store, and they were planning her 20th surprise birthday party at the store, the family. And the same day that they were planning the surprise party for her, the sporting goods store got robbed.
That's crazy,
right? And it's like, and I'm like, yo, it's like, how many of y'all? It's like 5 of y'all. Bob showed up late, right? Because he wasn't there. It was the mom, it was Snyder, the grandmother was there at that time already. You had Barbara, you had Bob that came late. It's like 6 y'all motherfuckers and only 3 robbers. You mean to tell me nobody could have got the gun away from these robbers?
And he was a little peep squeak too.
Huh?
He was a little peep squeak too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, the dude that's holding the main dude with the gun, we've seen him in, like, he was like one of them 80s dudes that would play like the bad villains all the time. I've seen him in like TV shows and movies and stuff. It's 3 dudes. And like, you got one dude with like a gun. You mean, and the other 2 dudes were like roping them up in the storage room. You mean to tell me not one of y'all could have like took the gun away from him? I don't understand that.
Yeah. Again, the 80s.
Like how many Snyder had a fucking utility belt around him, yo. Like, you mean to tell me you can't take a monkey wrench and hit dude over there? Yeah, like you're a landlord. Like this, he walked around with like a utility belt all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, but that episode was like, and she was like telling her mom, Bob was telling her mom like, oh, this is the worst birthday ever. And I mean, you goddamn right, it's the worst birthday ever. You got to spend it, hog-tied in for your 20th birthday.
Well, what did you expect Robert to do? Bring a birthday cake out and shit? Like,
This is the worst birthday ever. I'm like, you damn right it is. Shit, I would be saying the same thing.
You mother.
I get robbed on my birthday. That's what I'm saying. So
you motherfucking right. It's the worst.
You know what I mean? And nobody got. I'm like, yo, those criminals back then, they were friendly, because if that shit happened now, they'd be all dead.
Exactly.
All of those victims would be dead in the storage room. Yeah, they had the criminals coming in the room with them, telling her happy birthday, Barbara, and eating cake. And I'm like, what is it? What kind of criminals is this, yo? For the 70s? Not when you had motherfuckers like you know what was the son of Sam out there on the loose, like actually murdering couples and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what kind of criminals is this?
That reminds me of that.
Out there like choking bitches to death, and this dude is like coming in tasting cake, and he's like, oh, happy birthday, Barbara, and I'm like, what?
That reminds me of that All in the Family episode when the robbers want to rob the bunker and then they end up fucking talking and shit like that.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that, bro? Boy, the 70s was different. That's all I can say.
Edith sang a song, and I was like, oh, boy, you need this money and shit. I'm like, come on.
Yo, that was a different decade. That was nothing like the 80s. The 80s and 90s, the violence was more violent for those decades than the 70s, man. I don't know what the hell was going on then.
What killed me was Mike got mad at Archie because he had a gun and shit like that. I'm just like, oh,
right. I'm like, yo, and the cops took forever to get there, yo, and they like banging on the door to see if the crooks was gone. I'm like, again, like if you did that now, they would be dead. There's no way in hell you're gonna be banging on the door and there's robbers in the same store trying to get all the goods and shit. They would have killed you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But that was an interesting episode where it was like, to me, like again, like I think they centered that story around Barbara's character, because without Barbara there, you would have no show, because Mackenzie had already left the show.
That is true. Yeah, man. What about you, Mike?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have like a favorite episode in particular, but like if I had to pick one, probably I might want to say I like the very first episode. Like, I don't know why. I mean, I guess that was probably the first one I watched, so like that one just like kind of like stuck with me. But I feel like the whole show is more like a guilty pleasure, like versus like On the Family, the Jeffersons, and stuff like that, where you could like you're gonna have like a favorite episode on there. You know what I mean? But like I feel like this was like a show where like you could, if it's on, then of course you're gonna watch it. But I mean, I already got the whole series, so you know. But yeah, it was, to me, it was more like a guilty pleasure than anything else. So I like the first couple of seasons. I have to watch the later seasons again, but I mean,
I definitely understand about that and shit like that. Like, there was also this one episode. It was a weird ass episode when Julie discovered Christianity, and she wanted to convert this bum, like literally just picked a random bum off the street, and in order for her to actually be part of this religious kind of group, she had to convert him to a Christian. But the bum ended up robbing, stealing some stuff in the household items, and then Julie went to the prison and still trying to convince him and stuff like that. And the robber was just like, "Yo, you stupid as fuck. I'm only here to play you." It's like I've only tried to play you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was kind of like one of those weird episodes and stuff like that too. You know it. I think the episode's called Julie and JC, because I think JC would represent Jesus Christ.
Right.
I don't know, man. Then that one episode when Schneider, his Mark Hamill, yeah, that's his name. Mark Hamill played Schneider's nephew who stole the Walkman and stuff, like their Walkman and stuff. And Schneider was about to whoop his ass. Sean's like, you creep, and then he's about to like fucking whoop his ass, and he put him in a fucking chokehold and shit like that too.
Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So this is like when he was like in the middle of the Star Wars fame.
No, it was like the beginning, like
Beginning?
pre Star Wars. That's why
Pre Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah. Then that episode when Alex burned down the camper.
Mm-hmm. He was a little badass kid, yo.
This is not meant to be funny, but when motherfucker had that freak out, like, I know how bad I got.
He was not a good actor.
Snyder got mad. He got mad, and rightfully so, because it was just like, nigga, you burned down my camper, and then he held all this guilt because he felt like he wasn't watching the people right, and then all this time, Alex acted like he was a hero out of everything when he was the one that started the fire,
right?
And then he told fucking Barbara, and then he was like, and he's like, I gotta go tell Ann, and then he was gonna go tell Ann off the screen, and I love the scene where you can hear Ann yelling at Alex like, what? What? And you just saw Barbara's face like, oh shit, like rightfully so. And as much as I get Bonnie Franklin, when she does scenes like that, she doesn't think scenes like those heavy motherly scenes, but she doesn't do too much like in earlier seasons.
Yeah.
But she held her own down and stuff. Like she said, you just sat there like a Boy Scout while we patted you on the. Then this motherfucker, I know how bad it was. I know. Oh my god! And then at the end, it was all like, "I'm not going to talk to you for one whole year." And then once fucking Alex said, "I love you," he started. It was kind of a cringy scene too. Mm-hmm. He's like, "I didn't mean to hurt you, Schneider. I love you." Wow. I'm just like, "What the fuck is this?" Then Schneider trying not to cry and shit. I'm just like, "What the fuck is this?"
I told you some parts was cringy.
It was cringy.
I think like I love the best episodes to me after like during like the Barbara era was the ones with Bob. I think he was hilarious.
Ooh. Like, I never heard people say this.
The episode where he was like like he loved Barbara and he was like a virgin, but he didn't. He was like he was telling Ann that he was having all these feelings, but he didn't know why. Because he couldn't like explain it. Like he was like dumb, but he had like sex education, but he didn't know what to call it. So it was like he went to Snyder because Ann was like, I'm not having that birds and bees talk with you. You gotta have it with your pops. He's like, his pops don't even want to talk to him about that. He went to Snyder.
His pops was kind of a dick to me.
And yeah, and he went to Snyder about it, and Snyder's like telling him, this is what you gotta do, this is what you don't got, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Snyder tried to come off like he was like some big pimp, some big playtime, some big player. And once he found out that Bob had a thing for Barbara, he was like, "Oh hell no, right. no, I don't want you not even near Barbara. I don't want you in the same room with her." So he, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, you know, he wanted to take Barbara out on a date. But Barbara, I mean, like Barbara, she nice, and she didn't really have the mouth on her like Ann did, and like Julie. So she tolerated, you know, Bob. You know what I'm saying? So she only looked at Bob as a friend, and she was like, she didn't really want to go out on a date with Bob. But once when she was dating other guys, and then like the other guy found out, like, you know, Bob made that story up about, you know, dating the school slut, and he tried to come off like he was doing something with her when he didn't. And then the guy that Barbara was dating, he found out about it. The whole school knew about it, and he comes over and tells Barbara, "Oh, you know your boy Bob went out with the school slut," and she called it the student body for the whole school, but he ain't do nothing. So when she found out that, and she found out, oh, the way that the other guy was telling it, she didn't like that. So she had more respect for Bob because Bob waited. And when she sat down and told Bob, like, yeah, we could go out and a date, but she was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait till marriage. And Bob was like, oh, well, I'm gonna wait too. So she had more respect for Bob because he wasn't out there, you know, playing the field like the other guys that she was dating at that time. Right. But I always felt like she really should have been with Bob because like when she got with Mark, and I'm like, yo, these dudes were cornballs, man. They didn't deserve her at all. Like the one dude that she liked was Max, was Julie's husband, but there was that episode where like they kissed, but she didn't want to go no further than that because she was like committed to Mark. I'm like, yo, you could have dumped Mark, yo, because I think Max would have treated her better. You know, it was either Bob or Max. You know what I'm saying? That's who she should have stayed with, not to Godwin, not Mark. She could have divorced Mark because I'm like, yo, this dude is a cornball. Man.
Oh, Mark was kind of corny.
He was corny. I'm like, you waited to give up your coochie for Mark?
Yeah.
Like, why?
And especially
that. Like that was
when
where was Ann then? Like Ann should have been like, yo, how could you like give up yourself to Mark?
When Mark be trying to act all sexy and shit, I just be like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
Please.
I think he was in one of those Friday the 13th movies. I want to see he was in part 2 or part 3.
I remember his face somewhere.
Yeah, because he looked familiar. I'm like, I've seen this dude in a horror film before, and he got killed by Jason. So,
wow.
You know, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Jason knew he was a cornball from when he saw him.
No, one episode, I'm not even gonna hold you, kind of made me mad. Maybe was the episode when Ann legitly sexually harassed a motherfucker. Season 5. Y'all laughing, but I'm gonna break some shit down.
Hey, she was single. She didn't want no marriage, no commitment. She was on the hunt.
And yeah, at 2 ends. So there was this new assistant where pretty much he was a young and attractive in her words and shit like that. So don't yeah, in her words. And she invited him over for the weekend to do some work. And the nigga legitimately said, well, I want to do some work and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no hanky-panky or whatever. And I think Ann tried to kiss him, and he just thought, that was mad inappropriate. And pretty much he reported to the boss. I think it's that weird dry-faced boss. I keep forgetting his name. And it was just like, yo, it was just like at the time, like she actually had to face consequences for her actions. Because it's like you never see an episode where it's like the female sexually harassing, especially when it's a protagonist. So I kind of felt like that was kind of heavy, especially for 79 when that episode was made, because it reminds me of that Three's Company episode where Jack was working for that one cook, John Travolta's sister and stuff like that. And homegirl was sexually harassing her. I never thought she was that cute though, for real. I'm gonna be real. I'm sorry, John Travolta. I'm sorry, but hey. And then she was trying to sexually harass him, but then once he didn't want to use her advances, she fired him and shit like that. So it kind of reminds me of that, but this episode kind of did it better because the girl didn't learn her lesson after. It was basically Jack lost because he lost his job after, which kind of made me mad though. But the world we live in. But yeah, and then once he said, "Oh, he left and shit like that," Ann just had that stupid look on her face, and I was just like, finally, she gets to have some ridicule and shit. Finally, she gets to be embarrassed and shit like that. Like, I don't know. I'm just that sick of a person. I'm just that sick of a person. This shit, crying at her misery. I don't know. Oh my Lord. I know it's a TV character, but her character. When I tell you, anytime her character always appears right, sometimes it just be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like, show some humility for once in your fucking life. Ah man. Okay, so I'm gonna end this like 12:30 and shit. I feel like we talked about all the main points. That was kind of quick as fuck though, but fuck it. I'm trying to get this fucking list together. Finding all these fourth albums is kind of hard though, but because like some fourth albums that people hate, I actually like. Some fourth albums that a lot of people like, I hate. It's kind of weird.
I don't think in any of the ones on my list are classics, so it's hit or miss.
True. I know I'm gonna have some surprises on the list and shit. Oh, that was his fourth album. Oh yeah, that's definitely going on the list. Okay. Oh, man, I want to say one more episode.
Barbara, I like Barbara better.
Yeah, Barbara.
I like Barbara.
Yeah, man.
She was more level-headed.
Minus some men choices.
Yeah. Yeah, minus Mark. She had her head on straight. Like she wasn't rushing into marriage and having kids and all that.
Yeah,
And she was a better looking sister.
Yeah.
true. So once she got
How
of
did she?
age,
How did she get with How did she get with Eddie Van Halen anyway? I always heard about that. I'm like Eddie Van Halen and her.
they just met. I think when he was on tour or some shit.
Oh wow.
David Lee Roth did not like her though.
He didn't like her.
Nah,
Why he didn't like her?
she said that she broke up the band and shit.
Oh Lord, the band had problems before.
The band had a problem
So,
before.
not
Like
her.
I like
Not
David,
her.
but I'm like, come on, nigga.
No, he's full
And
of
you
shit.
and you, I like David. You were part of one of the main reasons.
Exactly.
You and Eddie.
And they had issues with Sammy Hagar, the dude that replaced David Lee Roth. So what does that tell you?
Well, honestly, that was mostly on Eddie and Alex being dicks. Let's just be real.
Right.
Because
Wow.
they wanted him. I think they wanted him to practice to record some shit, and he was spending some time with his family. And
Yeah.
Eddie or Alex was in their feelings or some shit like that.
It's crazy.
Talk about, oh, she ruined the band. Like she ain't know.
How many kids she had with Eddie?
I want to say 2.
Oh, so they're like grown now.
Yeah. She was with him when he died too.
Oh, but she was still with him?
No, not like dating, but she
Oh.
was like at his bedside and shit.
Oh, I see. Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Don't mind that. I'm packing my CDs at the moment. Don't mind that. And then like
She had one kid with Eddie?
you said what?
She had one kid with Eddie?
Oh wow, shit. I thought it was 2.
You know, Ronnie looking shit up on Wikipedia, so I guess Wikipedia is the gospel now and shit.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big Sammy Hagar fan, but I do admit he's a better singer than David Lee Roth.
Wow.
Call me crazy. And I like Roth and shit, but he wasn't known for his singing like Robert Plant or Freddie Mercury. He was just known just running around on stage acting like crazy and shit. It's a shame Criss Cross did not drop a 4th album and shit.
Who?
Criss Cross dropped 4 albums, but they dropped 3 albums and shit. Oh shit. 4. This list is gonna be kind of hard though. I ain't gonna front. It's kind of hard. Oh shit. Me and these fucking ideas, yo. What the fuck? Me and these fucking ideas.
Yo.
I don't just want to name like bad rapper like Bow Wow and shit like that, cause
Nah, we're not naming those rappers. Them motherfuckers I don't listen to.
Bow Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Shad Moss. Shad Moss.
Good.
Oh god, this nigga thought he could take it so seriously. Shaddy. Oh god, I'm so immature, yo.
Wolfgang, that's his name. Wolfgang. They named the
Yeah,
kid
Wolfgang.
Wow. So this nigga's like a grown ass man with a name like Wolfgang.
Yikes.
I hope he got a nickname or something, yo.
Yo, that reminds me of that Hey Arnold bully Wolfgang. I thought that was a nickname.
Wow.
Wolfgang. Wolfgang.
Oh, shit.
Oh god, yo.
Unbelievable.
It's Criss Cross totally crossed out, turned 30 years old. That's good for them.
That was yesterday.
Sam said, Sign of the Times or Dirty Mind. Sign of the Times over everything, man. I'm sorry.
Sign of the Times.
Yo, if Warner Brothers would have let him drop the 3 discs and shit, it would have been a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
But they're gonna re-release. They're gonna finally release Camille and shit, right?
Oh, are they?
They finally gonna release that on vinyl.
Was that unreleased before?
Yeah, that was like the part of the whole original Sign of the Time when it was on the Dream Factory, because the album was supposed to be him disguising as a woman. That's what it sounds like. If I Was Your Girlfriend's Strange Relationship. Yeah. That was all part of the whole Camille album and shit. But honestly, I've heard the Camille album and it was pretty straight. I'll just get it for collector's purposes, you know.
Right.
Is Jay-Z still running the Prince estate or not?
No, I don't know. I think it's with his family now.
Okay, I was sure. I know Prince was on Tidal before he died and shit.
Yeah.
But that was kind of surprising and shit, you know.
Yep.
And when he died, that's when all his music appeared on streaming and shit.
Right.
Did you hear about Bow Wow saying he regrets working with Jermaine Dupri? What? Wow. That's well. I mean, he's not that good of a producer, so I guess. I'm not surprised and shit. Especially when he gives you shit like that. I don't ever know. I don't ever want nobody show me that. I'm like, it's crazy because I recently found out when we did that New Edition breakdown that they sampled that New Edition song. I literally thought they made that shit out of scratch. I heard I was like, yo, what the fuck is Bow Wow playing on? But that New Edition song they sampled, that's fire though.
Yeah,
that's fire. Jermaine did the Brat. Oh yeah. I need that Funkified album though. That's real shit.
It's not. Is it out of print?
Yeah. I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't it you that sent me the Funkified album?
What?
You sent me the Funkified album, right? Didn't you buy that from me?
No, I sent you the Bomb.
Okay. I thought you gave me the Brat album.
Really? Yeah. I sent you a lot of albums though.
How did you get me a copy and you didn't get a copy for yourself?
How did I get what?
How did you get a copy for me, but you didn't get one for yourself?
I mean, I like the Brat, but I wasn't in a rush to get that album because that album was relatively cheap.
But that's the only album I care to have from her. I didn't like all the shit.
The other album, like that second album, they try to make it sound like Aaliyah. I
like, come on.
Production was too Timbaland-ish.
She should have had a tantrum by the way that shit came out. That shit was bad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
You know, I was pissed when I heard it. I would have had a tantrum.
I think she whooped a girl's ass with a bottle at one point.
Yeah, that's why she went to jail. She broke a wine bottle over a chick's head or whatever. Crazy.
Oh, these rappers, man! I swear to God, I can make a whole list about rappers hitting each other with bottles and shit.
Right.
Right. Who was supposed to make a list about favorite fights?
The Brat, Diddy, Big Pun.
Did he slap a motherfucker with some money or some shit?
Diddy hit Steve Stock over the head with a bottle.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
because of the Nas Hate Me Now video.
I'm talking about he's a Catholic and shit. Catholic don't do that.
Big Pun allegedly Big Pun hit Jay-Z over the head with a wine bottle.
Oh no, that's true.
That's supposedly that's true. But they dissed him on a Terror Squad album.
Yo, everyone's mad at Diddy because Diddy said he tried to calm the situation down between Chris Rock and Will Smith.
It ain't his business though. You got beef with Mace. Calm that shit down. Like you worried about Will Smith for it. I don't understand that. Like you trying to put out everybody else's fire. Put out your own fire.
He calls himself love.
You know?
That's love right there, y'all.
Wow.
Yeah, now he want to preach love. Did you preach love when Tupac got killed and when Biggie got murdered in front of you? And you said that to the cops?
Exactly.
Back in '95, it was East Coast versus West Coast. I ain't hear nobody preach love then.
Were you preaching love when he hid under the bus when Pac was going at Biggie at them Soul Train Awards and shit?
Yep.
Talking about me and Biggie, we held down.
He was quick to address Suge Knight at the Source Awards. He was real quick to address him. But you ain't say nothing when everybody else was calling you out. When J. Cole called him out, he didn't say shit.
Talking about. I was the producer that Suge Knight was talking about when years later you said that was Jermaine Dupri and shit.
Exactly. He felt guilty. He felt guilty.
Honestly,
dancing all in the videos.
Honestly, I never knew Smooth B and Kane had some beef with one another on some real shit.
I didn't even know that.
Because I was like, Smooth B jealous of Kane? Talking about Kane stole from him? Hell no.
Stole what? You don't rap like Kane. He ain't had the swagger like it. Just because you throw on a cape over your back don't mean you James Brown now.
Talk. Smooth B rapping like sometimes I rhyme slow.
He was never on Kane's levels. I don't know how the hell he felt like Kane stole him.
He wasn't even Bismarck Key's level. Fuck
exactly.
That.
Greg Nice was the star in that group.
Yes, Greg Nice was that nigga.
You know.
Smooth was always offbeat for the most part. The only time I really cared for Nice and Smooth was like when they appeared with the Gangsta with the wig. I hate to say it.
That's the best verse he had. I left my Philly at home. Do you have another? I want to get blended, my brother. That's the best verse he had was Dwick.
And believe it or not, when they collaborated with New Kids on the Block with that Dirty Dog song.
Yeah. That's their commercial hit.
Yeah, I didn't care for Sometimes I Rhyme Slow.
I love that song, but I mean, come on, man. They can't do no verses. They ain't got 10. They ain't got 20 hits. Get them on 10.
Nice and smooth, we're here to soothe you and make. That's the only song besides We Gotta Be Jamming to. It's mostly for that Rick James sample and shit. Like, and even the album covers were kind of cheesy. Like, hold up, let me.
They ain't had the best album covers. You know what I mean?
Bro, that album cover was just so.
Even with Jewel and Now, it's only like they're two faces side by side. I'm like,
oh shit, hold on.
When you have an album called Jewel and Now, I want to see like some jewels on the damn album cover.
Oh shit.
Like OC had jewels, and he had jewels around his damn neck.
For real, OC.
You know what I mean?
Hell, Kane had the best album covers and shit. You know, well, minus Daddy's Home and Prince of Darkness.
So, I like Prince of Darkness. Some people say he looked like Dracula on that album cover.
I mean, I love the album. I just hate the album cover. like look at this shit.
Oh my God.
I hate these 80s album covers when they be doing too much.
Playing for no reason, yo. They needed some Photoshop.
I'm not gonna lie, that's something Kid Play would do.
Yeah.
Now, hold on, wait a minute now.
What?
Kid and Play had some dope album covers. Like that fucking Face the Nation album cover, that shit was tough.
It was dope. Yeah, it was alright.
Right.
It was alright.
It was tough, man.
It's not classic. It was alright.
It's a personal classic to me. That's to me
the album or the album cover?
Face Nation is a personal classic to me.
Oh, that's a personal classic? I think Funhouse was a classic and Too Hype.
Oh, Too Hype, that's a classic.
Yeah, I think that was their best album.
Too Hype, that's their known classic. But Face Nation, Kid was on some lyrical.
Yes, lyrically he was dope on that album. Definitely.
And don't even get me started on the House Party 3 soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know, on some boom bap kind of shit.
That was dope, yeah.
Speaking of House Party, you hear they remaking it and it's coming out this year?
I did hear that. I don't know.
And they're gonna have like DC Young Fly or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
To this day, the funniest hip hop.
Look at this.
Okay, that one. Nah.
It's that Kid and Play the Gillespie version. What is this?
Nah,
that's Chris Cross when they grown up.
Yeah, for real.
Man.
Fucking Trey Styles from Boys in the Hood ass nigga. Trey Styles.
What is that?
Fucking Blizzard from Juice ass nigga.
Wow.
Fucking Blizzard.
Wow.
Man. They had some shitty album covers.
Oh, hold on. Y'all ain't seen shitty yet. Hold on.
Oh no.
I ain't seen shitty yet. I gotta pull out E40 for this one. Sorry, West Coast heads.
Oh God.
Sorry, West Coast heads. Hold on. It was the first E40 album. I think it was called like Federal. For all my I gotta look it up. My E40 heads and shit. But
I've never been a fan of it. He always sound like he's choking on something. Like he's choking on a chicken bone. What are you saying? That is not bars, bro? What are you saying? E40.
What is this shit? What is this shit?
Whoa! Shit! Oh, what the fuck is this shit?
Is that?
You know when niggas always try to have them album cover, they try to act all arrested and shit like.
Right.
Why he on his ass like that?
Right. That that's a little something.
Are we supposed to be cops or the feds?
Boy, I don't even fucking know. I thought they were part of the village people for shit like.
Wow.
The hell?
Oh, shit.
And that shit is out of print, ain't it?
Yeah, almost all of his early shit's out of print.
Wow. I don't know why.
Wow.
Oh shit, man. These album covers, man, they be having me dead. Remember that Big Bear, that Bear MC?
Oh, that shit was bad. That shit was terrible. The beers at the table with the wine and shit.
Yeah.
That shit was horrible. That's where they got it from?
Huh?
That the beers, that's where they got that shit from?
Yeah. But
that shit was bad.
Black Street. This album cover is just
I didn't like that one.
Hell no.
I can tolerate that compared to that other shit you used to.
Fuck is why I gotta see a nigga ass for it? I gotta see a nigga. Back when they should have been rocking Levi's baggy like that.
For real.
They should call
them look so tacky now.
They should call themselves Backstreet.
Back to the Backstreet Boys.
Backseat. Excuse me. Backseat. Excuse me.
Wow.
Shit. Who else?
Yo.
This is one rapper. He was a Southern hip hop. Oh, Chingy.
Oh God.
Oh damn. Dollar Store Nelly.
Yo.
Oh shit.
He was just bad all around, yo.
This album's called Powerball.
It is shit. This is 2000ish. You could just tell.
Yeah. Easily.
Oh,
the font, everything just screams 2000.
For real.
Oh,
these 2000 mixtape covers be killing me.
Y'all
remember this Nicki Minaj cover right here?
I actually like that one. The Beat Me Up Scotty.
That was dope.
Cause she dressed up like Wonder Woman in that shit.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, she was actually cute there and shit.
Right.
Oh, that True Life mixtape cover where he was dissing Jay-Z and shit.
Right. Yo.
Wow, this shit would forever be iconic. Like this shit will forever be iconic.
What is that? Yeah. Yo.
These 2000s mixtape covers be having me rolling. Oh my God. No effort.
For real.
You could tell no effort.
Right.
King of What I Do. That's what the mixtape is called. King of What I Do.
King of What I Do.
Which is nothing.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh shit. Shit. I swear to God, yo. All these mixtapes. That was one more. Oh, this is my favorite one, the Bandage, the Tape on the Mouth mixtape. These are my favorite kind of mixtape.
I remember that joint.
She was corny as fuck. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, let me end up this video and shit like that, cause but I gotta eat me something. Get me something to eat before I finish up some of this packing. But this has been kind of fun. I'm not even gonna hold you. Finally got this shit out the way.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, hopefully this Wi-Fi will be set up by Sunday, because I don't have time. I don't have time to be waiting around and shit, because I have shit I gotta handle myself. Appreciate this mic as usual and whatnot. I was thinking, it's finally it's April now. Happy April Fools, y'all. Happy April Fools and shit. I was thinking about talking about Back to the Future this month sometimes, like the whole 3 movies and shit.
Yes.
So I'll keep y'all updated about that. Like I mentioned, New York Undercover is gonna be literally a couple months away. I was gonna start watching it this week, but life took a turn on me and shit. So yeah, so don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna watch it. It's just gotta get through the storm first of all, and then a lot of bullshit later. The rap album, if I do the rap albums list, it's probably gonna be about maybe 9 o'clock tomorrow. Cause like I said, I'm not really going. I'm just gonna watch the Grammys and do this stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like invested watching the Grammys this year, but there's some people I do want to watch, stuff like that, because I think they're trying to say that then they're trying to. I heard rumors that Kendrick might make a appearance. I heard rumors. I don't know if that's 100% true, but don't get me too excited on that. What else? I know people are gonna ask me what I think about Kanye West performing the Grammys. I really don't care, really. Shit. If he does make an appearance, I won't be surprised.
Right.
I won't be surprised. This whole Trevor Noah thing's a fucking setup and shit, like some Andy Kaufman kind of shit. Oh, said Nas is performing. Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yes. Hopefully, it's some shit from the Magic album and shit too. Either Magic and King's Disease too.
Yep.
Yeah, but if Nas wins another Grammy and shit, I mean, he might win another Grammy.
Right.
He might win another Grammy and shit.
They own for like 6, so
I say
8.
Yo, Magic should have had like 3 Grammys.
Yeah.
Yo, Magic should have had at least 3 Grammys and shit. But technically, he got a Grammy for Get Jiggy with it. If you want to be technical,
Right. Right.
I don't think Ghostwriting counts. I guess, but
Yeah.
shit. But other than that, appreciate this, Mike. Appreciate this try.
All right.
Sure.
I'll probably come back about 115, 120 and stuff like that. I just gotta get my list together and shit like that.
All right.
I hope y'all have a very good night, and I will see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.